Okay, good morning and welcome to the Lancaster County Board of Commissioners meeting for Tuesday, July 2nd. I am your chair, Sean Flowerday. With me is Vice Chair Rick Vest and Commissioners Matt Schulte, Roma Amundsen, and Krista Yoakum. Please rise and join me for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Madam Clerk, please proceed.
A copy of the Nebraska Open Meetings Act is located on the wall at the rear of the hearing room. All written material to be discussed at today's meeting can be viewed on the county's website at lancaster.ne.gov. Printing options are available upon request. The first item is item 1, the minutes. Approval of the minutes of the Board of Commissioners meeting held on June 25th, 2024.
Move approval. Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Vest,
Yes.
Amundsen,
Yes.
Schulte,
Abstain.
Yoakum,
Yes.
Flowerday.
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 2 is the claims. Item 2A, approval of the claims process through June 28th, 2024, and I'll note there is an amendment to include the most recent payroll.
I would move approval of item A to include payroll disbursements through June 26, 2024.
We have a motion.
Second.
A motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Yoakum,
Yes.
Vest,
Yes.
Amundsen,
Yes.
Schulte,
Yes.
Flowerday.
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 2B is approval of a claim to the Mediation Center in the amount of $3,592.50.
Move approval. Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Schulte,
Yes.
Yoakum,
Yes.
Vest,
Abstain.
Amundsen,
Yes.
Flowerday.
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 2C, approval of a claim to Cedars Youth Services in the amount of $78,537.50.
Move approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Amundsen,
Yes.
Schulte,
Yep.
Yoakum,
Yes.
Vest,
Yes.
Flowerday.
Abstain.
Motion carries. Item 2D, approval of a claim to El Centro de las Americas in the amount of $12,392.60.
Move approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Vest,
Yes.
Amundsen,
Yes.
Schulte,
Yes.
Yoakum,
Abstain.
Flowerday.
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 2E, approval of a claim to the Indian Center in the amount of $2,522.11.
Move approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Yoakum,
Abstain.
Vest,
Yes.
Amundsen,
Yes.
Schulte,
Yes.
Flowerday.
Yes.
Motion carries. And item 2F, approval of the claims including billing for goods and services beyond the 90-day time period provided in Nebraska Revised Statutes 23-135 to El Centro de las Americas dated July 1st, 2024 for a total of $24,780.50, and Unico Group Incorporated dated July 1st, 2024 for a total of $33,401.94.
I would move to separate these and vote on item 1 separate from item 2.
I think they're already broken out. I think we just can.
Oh, okay. Well, then let's do that. Let's do them separately.
I would
Okay.
consider a motion for item 1.
Approval of F1.
Second.
We have a motion and a second for F1. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Schulte,
Yes.
Yoakum,
Abstain.
Vest,
Yes.
Amundsen,
Yes.
Flowerday.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Now F2.
Oh, sorry. I move approval of F2.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Amundsen,
Yes.
Schulte,
Yes.
Yoakum,
Yes.
Vest,
Yes.
Flowerday.
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 3 are the consent items. These are routine business items that are expected to be adopted without dissent. Any individual item may be removed for special discussion and consideration by a commissioner or by any member of the public without prior notice. Unless there is an exception, these items will be approved as one with a single vote of the Board of Commissioners. These items are approval of 3A, amendments to the following county contracts, C-23-0695 with the Board of Regents of the University of Nebraska on behalf of the University of Nebraska Lincoln's Law Psychology Program for analysis of juvenile justice data and adult criminal justice data, C-24-0103 with YWCA Lincoln for diversity, equity, and inclusion training to provide an additional consideration to YWCA for the performance of its contracted services, C-22-0495 with Mahoney Fire Sprinkler Incorporated for the annual service of inspection, testing, and maintenance of fire sprinkler systems, C-23-0593 with Trade B Environmental Services LLC for household hazardous waste services, C-24-0392 with Q-Track LLC for virtual queuing software. Item 3B, addendum to purchase order agreement B-24-0011 with Securitas Technology for Cat 6 security equipment replacement services. Item 3C, right-of-way contracts with the following: Michael and Joanne Garnett, Northwest 27th Street and West Bluff Road in the amount of $19,359. Merle and Marjorie Huning, Olive Creek Road and South 148th Street in the amount of $748. Kaylin Clanderud and Moontree, North 27th Street and Mill Road in the amount of $649. Toby Revocable Trust, South 120th Street in the amount of $17,655. Item 3D, utility permit 2550, allowing OPTK Networks to install fiber optic. Item 3E, subaward contract with Voices of Hope for the Lancaster County ICJR project in the amount of $44,207. Item 3F, subaward contract and grant contract with El Centro de las Americas for the following: the Lancaster County ICJR project in the amount of $11,801, the Latino Youth Program in the amount of $138,941. Item 3G, grant contracts with the Mediation Center for the following: the Restorative Justice Program in the amount of $100,000, the Restorative Justice Practices Program in the amount of $15,090. And item 3H, grant contracts with the following: Family Service Lincoln for the School-Based Therapeutic Services Program in the amount of $80,000, the Hub Central Access Point for Young Adults for the Volunteer Coordination Program in the amount of $38,372, and YWCA Lincoln for the Catch Life Skills Program in the amount of $50,920.
Move approval of the consent items.
I second.
Motion and a second. Is there any discussion?
Do we need to move the Mediation Center and El Centro to consider separately, since Rick and I serve on those boards?
Makes sense.
Yeah, I would
Friendly.
like to remove item F and G from the consent agenda and consider them separately.
I accept that friendly amendment.
Okay. So we are moving approval on all of the consent items except F and G. Any further discussion? Please call the roll.
Vest,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Schulte,
Yes.
Yocum,
Yes.
Flowerday.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay. Now, item F.
I move approval of item F.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Yocum,
Yes.
Vest,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Schulte,
Yes.
Flowerday.
Yes.
Motion carries.
I move approval of item G. Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Schulte,
Yes.
Yocum,
Yes.
Vest,
Abstain.
Amundson,
Yes.
Flowerday.
Yes.
Motion carries. So then the next item is item 4, new business. It's a proclamation for July 21st through 27th, 2024 as National Pretrial Probation and Parole Supervision Week.
We already passed it.
Okay.
Sorry,
We have people.
we passed everything on the consent agenda. We held F and G, and then we went back and did those.
We did both of them.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
Yep.
I moved for F and Chris
Okay,
moved.
thanks for clarifying.
Yep.
No,
Nope.
no.
No, thanks for checking, because
We have people here this morning.
I'm certainly capable of it.
Yes, this is exciting to have
Okay.
this information.
Yeah, so,
Let's bring.
excuse our confusion, real quick. Would you please read the proclamation into the record? Come forward.
Proclamation before the Board of County Commissioners of the County of Lancaster, Nebraska, in the matter of proclaiming July 21st through 27th, 2024 as National Pretrial Probation and Parole Supervision Week in the County of Lancaster, Nebraska. Whereas over 100,000 community corrections professionals nationwide work diligently to ensure public safety as an integral part of the justice system, and whereas community corrections professionals uphold the law with dignity, supervise adult and juvenile offenders, provide services and referrals, and collaborate with community agencies, and whereas community corrections professionals promote prevention, intervention, advocacy, and restorative justice, supporting and protecting victims and advocating for positive community change. Now therefore, the Board of County Commissioners of the County of Lancaster, Nebraska do hereby proclaim the week of July 21st through 27th, 2024 as National Pretrial Probation and Parole Supervision Week in the County of Lancaster, Nebraska, and all persons, organizations, and governmental entities in our community are encouraged to honor these community corrections professionals and to recognize their achievements.
Thank you, Commissioners. I just want to recognize a few of our staff that were able to come out this morning for all the great work that they do supervising justice-involved individuals in our community. They do a great job helping these people find homes, getting them into treatment, mental health, addressing issues, and they're also getting these people out of jail. So every night that we're supervising somebody in the community is a night that they're not taking up a very expensive jail bed. So once again, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you all.
Please introduce your friends here, Jeff.
Okay, on the far left is Dean Rauer. He's our drug court supervisor. Caitlin, pretrial officer. Well, I guess you are our newest pretrial officer, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Sean, who is diversion, and Marvin, who has been with us about 3 weeks as our new pretrial officer as well.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Well, it's not only saving taxpayer dollars, it's making a difference in people's lives, the work that you're putting into it. So thank you very much for that.
Yeah.
And this work can be very time-consuming, it can be frustrating, but it's very, very rewarding at the end. So, thank you so much.
Deeply appreciate all your efforts. Thank you for the work you do.
Thank you for all you do.
I move approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Amundson,
Yes.
Schulte,
Yes.
Yocum,
Yes.
Vest,
Yes.
Flowerday.
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 4B, resolution in the matter of witness fees paid by Lancaster County which have remained unclaimed for 6 months or more.
I move approval.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Vest,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Schulte,
Yep.
Yocum,
Yes.
Flowerday.
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 4C, entity authorization agreement with Frontier Bank, Midwest Bank, and First State Bank, Nebraska. A resolution in the matter of opening a deposit account with Cornhusker Bank, and a resolution to establish authorized agents for the county at Cornhusker Bank.
Good morning, Commissioners. Rachel Garver, Lancaster County Treasurer. This is just paperwork to just clean up and make sure that we are doing everything right and compliance with state statute and just compliance with the banks and what we need to do. And we've been having a few of those in the past few weeks, and we probably have a few more coming up. But we just want to make sure all our ducks in a row.
Move approval.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Yocum,
Yes.
Vest,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Schulte,
Yes.
Flowerday.
Yes.
Motion carries. And I've received a note from the county attorney's office to pull item 4D. So
Noted.
I will continue with item 4E. Resolution in the matter of accepting maintenance responsibilities for certain roads and streets located within Bronco Hills Estates, second edition.
Good morning, John Berry, Lancaster County Engineering. This is a request to take over maintenance for Bronco Hills Second Edition. It's a smaller edition. It's just located off of West Denton Road. The existing roads are gravel and rock, and they have met all our requirements for maintenance. This is one of those, again, that's kind of been grandfathered in.
I move approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, please call the line.
Schulte,
Yes.
Yocum,
Yes.
Vest,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Flowerday.
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 4F, release of easement for utilities over a part of Outlot A, West Pioneers Cedar View Addition.
Good morning, John Berry, Lancaster County Engineering. These are some easements that were just platted recently in 2023. They're shown on the plat here along the east line and then around this other outlot. This area is being replatted, so those easements would cut across some of the lots which they are intending to put in. So this is just releasing the interest in those lots, or in those easements.
What's the address of this one? Can't see.
That I do not know. I don't have that.
Okay.
It's just off of West Pioneers.
Okay.
The subdivision is gonna look something along that line. So you can kind of see where the easements are cutting across one big lot and then along the backside of those other 3 lots.
Okay.
I move approval.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Amundson,
Yes.
Schulte,
Yes.
Yocum,
Yes.
Vest,
Yes.
Flowerday.
Yes.
Motion carries. Next item is item 4G, contracts with the following for general construction services. The cost of the county is not to exceed $300,000 for all contracts. Dickey Hines Muir Incorporated, DE Builders, Bauer Underground Incorporated, and Sampson Construction Company Incorporated.
I move approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Vest,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Schulte,
Yes.
Yocum,
Yes.
Flowerday.
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 4H, recommendation from the county engineer to award a sole source contract to Substrata for the annual supply of soil stabilization enzyme Permazyme in the total amount of $34,773.50.
John Berry, Lancaster County Engineering. This is a new material for us. It's going to be used for soil stabilization, and usually we're going to try to use it for dust control. It's a material we're going to give a shot at. You know, the last effort we made worked a little bit, had some other issues, so we're going to try this stuff. Pam at this time doesn't really have a road picked out or roads picked out we're going to use this on, but we want to give it a try.
I have some suggestions.
I'm sure she has lots of suggestions where to put this at. So, unfortunately, she can't be here. She's a little busy this morning, but I can try to answer any questions about this.
Well, it's an ongoing issue, I mean,
Okay.
with
Oh,
gravel roads.
absolutely.
and
Yep. And if
Goes
we-
with the territory. I don't imagine dust control's a problem this morning, but.
No, no. And if we can find something that works, that's cost effective, it's definitely something we want to try.
Definitely helpful to
On the
those
main
workers.
roads for sure, absolutely.
I move approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Yocum,
Yes.
Vest,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Schulte,
Yes.
Flowerday.
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 4I, special designated license applications from Fucor Incorporated for the following events at Prairie Pines Nature Preserve: Meadowlark Music Festival on July 20th, 2024, and Run for the Pines, July 27th, 2024.
Good morning, Eric Pomeisel with Fucor Inc. and just talking about our 2 yearly events at Prairie Pines Nature Reserve.
Look forward to this every year, Eric.
Yes.
Yeah, tell us just a little bit about what the tenor of these 2 events is.
Yeah, pardon me. Meadowlark Music Festival happens in July, and it is a fundraiser for the Meadowlark Music Festival, and will provide charcuterie and spirits for guests that are enjoying the entertainment. And then Run for the Pines is going to be at Prairie Pines again, and it's a fundraising run for people to help raise funds for community crops, and will again provide libations and food for people there.
How far is the Run for the Pines?
I think it's only like a 5K, so it's not super long.
Are you training?
But it could be really hot and humid, so
I'm going to start tomorrow, so.
there you go.
I'm really an honor to have you in our community and doing these events. Thank you for all you contribute. I move approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Schulte,
Yes.
Yocum,
Yes.
Vest,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Flowerday.
Yes,
Motion carries.
thank you.
Item 4J is to authorize Daniel Zig to sign all necessary documents to settle opioid claims against Kroger.
I move approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Amundson,
Yes.
Schulte,
Yes.
Yocum,
Yes.
Vest,
Yes.
Flowerday.
Yes,
Motion carries. Item 4K is setting the salary for Assistant Public Defender Sarah Newell in the amount of $142,000 as Attorney 2, effective July 29th, 2024.
I'm going to suggest that since Public Defender Egger was called into court this morning, that we table this item for a week and allow her to be here when we discuss this. Even though we've talked about it a couple times, I think it would be better to have her present when we're considering it.
can you just poke your head out there and make sure the public defender's not walking up at this moment? If she's not, then I agree with that. Yeah, all right. Well, if no one has any objections, we'll table this for a week. She had to get pulled into court, and we just found out. I think she just found out, so.
Should we do an actual motion to postpone for a week?
Yeah.
I move that we postpone item K for 1 week.
Second.
Okay. All right, we have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Vest,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Schulte,
Yes.
Yocum,
Yes.
Flowerday.
Yes.
Motion carries. Next item is item 4L, an agreement with the Board of Regents of the University of Nebraska for community corrections to provide educational experience and unpaid internship opportunities to university students. There is no cost to the county.
Good morning, Commissioners. Jeff Kilpatrick with Community Corrections. This is a contract with the University of Nebraska for us to work with interns. We've had 7 successfully complete our internship program. We have 2 that are here for the summer, and we have 3 that'll be coming on board in the fall session. This gives them an opportunity to be exposed to what we do, and it is very beneficial for both the county and for the students.
Very good. I would move approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion?
Do you happen to know the interns that you had previously, what they've gone on to do?
A couple have gone on to law school.
Very
I know one is currently in graduate school. I think one actually just got on with LPD.
This is a good experience for them to have under their
Good
belts.
experience, yes.
It's a really great program. One of my favorite things. A motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Please call the roll.
Yocum,
Yes.
Vest,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Schulte,
Yes.
Flowerday.
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 4M, a memorandum of understanding with Buddy US LLC for electronic monitoring products and services. The estimated cost of the county is not to exceed $40,000.
They call it the electronic monitoring company Buddy.
But
All right.
That's what I experienced.
Commissioners, Jeff Kilpatrick with Community Corrections. This is a new company for the state of Nebraska that we're going to pilot. We've had some problems with our current vendor with some RF units. The price breakdown with Buddy is a little bit cheaper, so we want to give it a try and see how it works out before we go on board full-fledged.
Yeah, part of the process that's important, that we continue to explore options. I move approval.
And technology's changing. I mean, by the time the contract's in place, you know, there's something new out there.
Absolutely. Not to go too far, but I saw an article now where in certain cases where there is a primary victim, I guess would be the right term, they have an app that allows them to, as well as the county doing it and law enforcement.
They have an app on their phone that lets them know if the offender gets within a certain radius, yes.
Yeah, you're from, okay, very good.
Move approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Schulte,
Yes.
Yocum,
Yes.
Vest,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Flowerday.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you, Jeff.
Item 4N, interlocal agreement with the City of Lincoln to allow county sheriff recruits to attend the LPD Academy and obtain law enforcement certification from the state of Nebraska.
Move approval.
Second?
I believe this is somewhat new in
It
that
is.
we've had to go to Grand Island in the past, and we run into waiting lists and delay in getting our new hires available
No, this is
for service.
this is a great new opportunity for us. I think we're really,
Probably provides us some good consistency in the community, too,
Right.
between the two departments.
okay. Do we have a motion?
Yeah.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Please call the roll if there's no further discussion.
Amundson,
Yes.
Schulte,
Yes.
Yocum,
Yes.
Vest,
Yes.
Flowerday.
Yes.
Motion carries. Next item is item 4O, agreement with Unico Group Incorporated for insurance brokerage services and support to county risk management.
Move approval.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Vest,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Schulte,
Yes.
Yocum,
Yes.
Flowerday.
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 4P, an interlocal agreements with the following for housing of juvenile offenders at the Youth Services Center at the rate of $334 per day with Dodge County and with Adams County.
Move approval.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Yocum,
Yes.
Vest,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Schulte,
Yes.
Flowerday.
Yes.
Motion carries. Next item is item 5, public comment. Members of the public wishing to speak on items relating to county business not on the agenda may do so at this time. Each speaker is limited to one appearance of up to 5 minutes, and that time may not be reserved, transferred, or otherwise assigned to other speakers. These time limits may be extended or reasonably decreased at the discretion of the chair.
Any members of the public wishing to speak?
Robert Bohr, in commemoration of the Declaration. When in the course of human events it becomes necessary for one people to dissolve the political bands which have connected them with another, and to assume among the powers of the earth the separate and equal station to which the laws of nature and of nature's God entitle them, a decent respect to the opinions of mankind requires that they should declare the causes which impel them to the separation. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, that to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed, that whenever any form of government becomes destructive of these ends, as this one is right now, it is the right of the people to alter or to abolish it and to institute new government. 248 years ago, we wrote that, and then we launched into a bloody, deadly, revolutionary war over the principle that all men are created equal. 75 years later, Democrats started an even bloodier and deadlier war, the Civil War, in defiance of the principle that all men are created equal, and because they didn't like the newly elected president. Hundreds of thousands more Americans died in that bloodbath in the Revolutionary War. Last Thursday night, CNN chief national correspondent John King said the following immediately after the debate, quoting, "This was a game-changing debate in the sense that right now as we speak there is a deep, a wide, and a very aggressive panic in the Democratic Party. It started minutes into the debate and it continues right now. It involves party strategists, it involves elected officials, it involves fundraisers. And they're having conversations about the president's performance, which they think was dismal, which they think will hurt other people, down the party in the ticket, and they're having conversations about what they should do about it. Some of those conversations include, should we go to the White House and ask the president to step aside? Other conversations are about, should prominent Democrats go public with that call because they feel this debate was so terrible. 8 other prominent CNN panel Democrats followed suit with similar comments. They all trashed Biden. It was surprising. In addition, the Supreme Court just dealt a death blow to the administrative state that Democrats use to maintain a stranglehold on Americans. The walls are closing in, Democrats are desperate, and Trump has only grown in popularity with all or from all the lawfare. It is my bet Democrats will try to start another war before they allow Trump to take the helm again. Not that they aren't already waging a war administratively, but they want to put the metal to the pedal. They want bullets to fly. They want a real insurrection. January 6th was no insurrection. Everything you think you know about that day is a lie. If you believe the most armed populace in the world tried to overthrow the government unarmed on that day, you are not smarter than a 4th grader. All of this conflict arises from stolen elections, the art of which has been perfected by a uniparty of greedy, power-hungry politicians and bureaucrats, including Robert Evnen and Wayne Benna. I'll say it again. There is no peaceful transfer of power without a transparent and verifiable election, and without a belief in equality before the law. None of these do Democrats believe in, nor do many fake Republicans. In closing, it is going to get interesting, to say the least. Maybe even Declaration of Independence all over again interesting. The truth remains, whenever any form of government becomes destructive of these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or to abolish it and to institute new government. And from the author of Common Sense, Thomas Paine, while it is possible to exclude men from the right of honest elections, it is impossible to exclude them from the right of rebelling against that exclusion. And then there's the military. When politicians fail to keep their oath, it is incumbent upon our military to step in and fulfill theirs, namely by supporting and defending the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic. All men die, but not all men truly live. Not the way they should anyway, and that has huge ramifications for the afterlife.
Thank you. Any other members of the public wishing to speak? Okay, seeing none.
Item 6 is announcements. The Lancaster County Board of Commissioners will not hold a staff meeting on Thursday, July 4th, 2024. The Lancaster County Board of Commissioners will hold its next regular meeting on Tuesday, July 9th, 2024 at 9:00 a.m. with the Board of Equalization immediately following in room 112 of the County City Building. County Commissioners can be reached at 402-441-7447 or commish@lancaster.ne.gov. The Lancaster County Board of Commissioners meeting is broadcast live on LNK TV. LNK TV is available on Allo Channel 2 and Spectrum Channel 1300. For the rebroadcast schedule, visit lincoln.ne.gov. Meetings are also streamed live on YouTube and Facebook. LNK TV apps are also available on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire TV. And then item 7 is adjournment.
I move we adjourn.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. Please call the roll.
Schulte,
Yes.
Yocum,
Yes.
Vest,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Flowerday.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Now open the Lancaster County Board of Equalization for Tuesday, July 2nd.
A copy of the Nebraska Open Meetings Act is located on the wall at the rear of the hearing room. All written material to be discussed at today's meeting can be viewed on the county's website at lancaster.ne.gov. Printing options are available upon request. The first item is the minutes, approval of the minutes of the Board of Equalization meeting held on Tuesday, June 18th, 2024.
Move approval.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. Please call the roll.
Schulte,
Yes.
Yocum,
Yes.
Vest,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Flowerday.
Yes.
Motion carries. The second item is additions and deductions to the tax assessment rolls.
Move approval of the additions and deductions.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Yocum,
Yes.
Vest,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Schulte,
Yes.
Flowerday.
Yes.
Motion carries. The third item are public hearings. The following motor vehicle tax exemption applications: Capital Humane Society, College View Academy, Trinity United Methodist Church of Lincoln, Fellowship Baptist Church, Villa Marie School, Tabitha Incorporated, Crossbridge Christian Church, Food Bank of Lincoln Incorporated, University of Nebraska Foundation, and Youth for Christ.
We'll now open the public hearing on the motor vehicle tax exemption applications. Are any members of the public wishing to speak on these items? Members of the public wishing to speak? Seeing none, we will go ahead and close the public hearing and move on to item 4.
Item 4, action on the following. Because the public hearing has been conducted and closed on the following items, no further testimony or evidence will be accepted or admitted. Item 4A is the motor vehicle tax exemption applications.
I'd move approval of 3A, except I'd like to consider Youth for Christ separately.
Yeah.
Second.
It's just 4A, you mean? It's
Yeah,
list-
I'm
Youth
sorry,
for
you're
Christ is
right.
listed in 3A because
But
of the
it
public
is
hearing.
4A.
Yes, so
Correct.
all of the motor vehicle tax exemption applications except for Youth for Christ, which you're asking to do completely
Okay.
correctly, separately, yes. We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Schulte,
Yes.
Yocum,
Yes.
Vest,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Flowerday.
Yes.
Motion carries.
I would move approval of the tax exemption for Youth for Christ.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Amundson,
Yes.
Schulte,
Yeah, and abstain.
Yocum,
Yes.
Vest,
Yes.
Flowerday.
Yes.
Motion carries. The next item is public comment. Members of the public wishing to speak on items relating to County Board of Equalization business not on the agenda may do so at this time.
Any members of the public wishing to speak? Seeing none,
The next item is adjournment.
Will we adjourn?
Second.
motion and a second to adjourn. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Vest,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Schulte,
Yes.
Yocum,
Yes.
Flowerday.
Yes.
Motion carries.